My name is Paul Lande, and I'm with the Carmichael-Stewart House Museum, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about coal mining here in Pictou County. Here at the museum we have lots of photographs of different mines and people who worked in the mines. This is the McGregor mine, Skellerton. This is a picture of the Albion. Over here we have the Acadia coal plant. This is the Foster pit, of which only this building here, the pumping house, is still extant. On the other side, we have a very interesting picture. This is the rake that the miners descended down into the mine in a slope mine. But the mine I'm going to tell you about today is the one that's pictured here on the bottom. That is the Allen Shaft. If you're familiar with where Sobeys office building is near the highway, that is the exact location where the Allen Shaft was. Now the Allen is probably our most notorious mine. That mine blew up 5 times, and it would take a total of 165 lives. 88 in one explosion in 1918. But the explosion I'm going to tell you about rather quickly is the one occurred that on April the 28th, 1950. There were 79 miners working in the mine that day. Now, the Allen is very different than other mines in that it was a vertical mine, and the elevator, or cage as the men called it because it had wire sides, would descend down 2,000 feet. That's 200 stories into the earth, stopping at 4 different levels. The lowest level was 2,000 feet down. On April the 28th, there was an explosion in the mine. The sirens went. Families began running to the mine to see what had happened, if their loved ones were safe. They began an immediate evacuation of the mine. The cage went down to the bottom and up again, and down again and up again. And when they finally counted all the miners who had evacuated the mine, there were only 72. Where were the missing 7 miners? Immediately they knew, because they were working together at the lowest level, 2,000 feet down, and over a mile-long tunnels away from the cage. They began to formulate a plan to try to rescue them. The draggermen, or rescue workers, would descend down the cage and then crawl through the chaos from the explosion. Roof falls, mounds of coal, burning coal, smoke, dust, to try to reach them. As they were getting on the cage, a little girl of about 5 years old broke free from her mother's hand, pushed her way through the crowd, and reached up and touched the cuff of one of the draggermen. And when he looked down, she said to him, "Please bring my daddy home." He descended to the mine with the other draggermen. They had to crawl through spaces that sometimes were no more than 2 feet clearance. Unbelievably difficult to see. They wanted to stop, but they couldn't stop thinking about what that little girl had said. When they finally reached the face where the men had been working, they found the other miners. Some of them buried, unable to crawl out of the mine by themselves. Unbelievably, all were alive. They eventually got them to the cage and to the surface, and the mine, all the miners were out. An hour and a half later, the mine blew up again. Now, that was one of the few times that the Allen Shaft blew up and didn't claim lives. If you're interested in more stories about coal mining, please come and visit us sometime. Thank you very much.